main event had repercussions that shook SICW. Hello, I'm Larry Matisick, and this is SICW Wrestling Explosion. The duel in question sends Classic Champion Iron Man Ken Kasa and Farmer Champion Ricky Cruz against hot young stars Heath Hatton and Daniel Eads. This match caused promoter Herb Simmons to sign the features in East Carondelet July 26th. Cruz versus Eads, and for the Classic Crown, Kasa versus Hatton. We'll also hear from both Daniel Eads and an irate Ricky Cruz, add in a St. Louis memory, and it's a terrific show right after this. Let's join the action. It's in the ring, Daniel Eads, and in the Iron Man, Ken Kasa, the Classic Wrestling Champion, tag made to Ricky Cruz, Kasa's partner, and he begins stomping, putting the boots to Daniel Eads, boom, 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 again and again, and Ricky Cruz, feeling pretty cocky, he yells at the fans and yells at Heath Hatton, Daniel Eads' partner. The referee has to cut off Hatton, who's aggravated, ready to come in the ring and help his partner, Daniel Eads, and then a headbutt. Pretty low there by Ricky Cruz when the referee, Keith Smith Jr., had his back turned to get Heath Hatton out of the ring. Ricky Cruz, a new attitude, totally new tactics, but he knows them all. He's been around wrestling a while, so he knows what he has to do sometimes. And for whatever reason, he's not happy about things in SICW right now. Ken Kasa complaining about Heath Hatton trying to get in the ring, and of course that opens the door for none other than Kasa's manager, the remarkable, the controversial Travis Cook. Didn't get along so well last week with Jim Cornette, did he? Interesting. Travis Cook enjoying what's happening right now as Daniel Eads is taking some lumps from Kasa and Cruz. They're working together pretty well. And you might say, how come they're tag team partners? Well, it would seem that somewhere in the negotiation for this match, Travis Cook promised Ricky Cruz that if he helps Kasa knock off the young kids, the young lions coming up, Daniel Eads and Heath Hatton, then he'd give Ricky Cruz a title match. Do you trust Travis Cook? Just keep that in mind, one way or the other. But right now, Ricky Cruz doesn't mind. Oh, Daniel Eads fighting back, rough and tough. Daniel Eads took some punishment. He's fighting right back against Ricky Cruz, and he's landing some punches on the cheek of Ricky Cruz, off the forehead of Cruz. Cruz knocked against the ropes by Daniel Eads. Eads whips Cruz to the ropes. Oh, he was bending over the backdrop, but Cruz, experienced, saw it coming, cut it off. Down goes Daniel Eads. All the talent in the world, all the athleticism in the world with Daniel Eads. He's getting better and better every time out. But now he's getting into pretty tough company in there against Kasa and Cruz. Now we'll find out what Daniel Eads is made of, that's for sure. And of course, you'll really find out about Heath Hatton, too. We found that out more, really, over the past 6 months to 8 months. Heath Hatton has really come into his own. Remember when he won that Battle Royal, the anniversary Battle Royal? That was a big one, and that's, of course, what earned him a crack at Ken Kasa on July 26th in East Carondelet. The Classic Wrestling title on the line. Heath Hatton, a young man looking to move to the top as fast as he can. Hey, drop kick by Ken Kasa. For some reason, you don't expect that kind of thing out of Ken Kasa, but that's what has made Kasa a really, really efficient and effective champion. He does a lot of different things you don't necessarily expect from a guy who maybe cuts corners now and then. Chin lock by Kasa, tying up the arm too. Forearm very close to the windpipe. Elbow to the stomach by Eads. Another elbow to the stomach. Knee lift by Ken Kasa. Another tag to Cruz. Lots of tags there by Cruz and Kasa. They have worked well together in this tag match. Knee drop into the forehead of Daniel Eads. He's having his problem. He needs to get to his feet. He needs to make a comeback here in some form. He really needs to make a tag with Heath Hatton. Kind of hard to do, though, when you're being choked, when you're being strangled by Ricky Cruz. Keith Smith Jr. yelling at Cruz, making the count of disqualification. He's up to 4. 5 would have been a disqualification, and you can bet that Ricky Cruz knows it. He's listening when it counts. Ricky Cruz knows how to stay on top. He's been on top of this business for some time. The Farmer Classic Wrestling Champion. He had that title for over a year. He wants it again. He yells at the crowd. Ricky Cruz, the guy who came up with the victory over Ron Powers. The victory that said loser leaves town for the rest of the year. And it was goodbye Ron Powers, thanks to Ricky Cruz, although there are those who weren't too happy about it. There was no disqualification. Flash Flanagan stuck his nose into it, broke up a potential pin when it looked like Powers had Cruz pinned. And then, of course, here came Kasa. Here came Travis Cook. And somehow, Ricky Cruz took advantage of all the rules and bending every rule that wasn't there that he could, aggravating promoter Herb Simmons to the end of the earth. Cruz came up with the victory, and Ron Powers is gone. The crowd begins chanting, Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. He's a big favorite. All the ladies like him, that's for sure. Forearm smash across the back by Cruz. He whips Eads to the ropes. Eads ducks the clothesline. Whoa, up in the air and a backdrop by Daniel Eads. Beautiful move by Daniel Eads, and that's the kind of thing when you see Eads do something like that when he's in trouble, you just know this kid has what it takes to get to the top. He just needs a little more experience, a little more salt. And right there, he made a great move on Ricky Cruz, but now, whoop, he's still battered. He's trying to reach out to tag. He's in the wrong corner. He wanted to tag the referee and says, oh, that's not the way to go. Shaking his head, trying to get the cobwebs out. Cruz rolling over. He wants to tag Kasa. He makes a tag. Hatton makes a tag, and now it's Hatton against Kasa. Hatton and Kasa. Hatton with a clothesline. Ducks a clothesline by Kasa. Double forearm by Heath Hatton. Misses a clothesline. Kick to the stomach is blocked by Hatton. Kick to the stomach by Hatton. And then he face plants. Whoa, he puts Ken Kasa face first into the mat. Oh, Cruz tries to break it up. Hatton saw it coming, and Cruz clobbered his partner, Kasa. Hatton says, oh, what do you think of that, folks? Kick to the stomach. And then Kasa and Cruz almost butted heads together, but they blocked it. Whip Hatton to the ropes. Hatton ducks. Double clothesline by Heath Hatton on Cruz and Kasa. Both of them down thanks to Heath Hatton. Hatton yells for Daniel Eads, says, come in, get a piece of this. Up the ropes they go. Both Hatton and Eads pounding on Kasa and Cruz. The crowd counting with them as they slam their fists into the head. Cruz manages to break away from Eads. He's trying to move up behind Heath Hatton. I don't know if Hatton knows he's there. Eads took a pretty good shot into the rib cage. And once again, Cruz misses Hatton and runs right into Kasa. Travis Cook yells, what are you doing? Eads fired out of the ring by Ricky Cruz. Forearm misses. Oh, super kick. Super kick by Cruz on Hatton. Really, Cruz is not the legal guy in this ring, I don't think. No, he isn't legal. It should be Kasa. Heath Hatton, look at that. Daniel Eads fighting back. He drags Ricky Cruz outside of the ring and then lands his Superman punch right to the jaw of Ricky Cruz. Back rolling cradle by Hatton on the champion. The champion gets away, but no, he doesn't. It's the crossface, the Daniel Bryan crossface, the yes lock. Heath Hatton, the Daniel Bryan crossface on the champion, and the champion's tapping. The champion concedes. Ken Kasa concedes. Heath Hatton has defeated the classic wrestling champion in this tag match. Goes to the corner. Ricky Cruz couldn't get in there to help, mainly thanks to Daniel Eads. Eads kept Cruz from coming in the ring to help. And look at that. Heath Hatton has the belt. He grabbed the belt. He's going up the ropes and letting the people see him with the belt, which is exactly what could happen on July 26th if he can catch Ken Kasa in that crossface again like he just did there. Whoa, what a moment. Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Iron Man Ken Kasa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Kasa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person. Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet. Daniel Eads has a big challenge ahead of him Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. You've butted heads with Ricky Cruz already in a tag team match on June the 21st.
That's right.
But now it's just you and him. Mm-hmm. It's Cruz and it's Eads. And here's a chance to see how far Daniel Eads has improved in professional wrestling. And I think it's going to be pretty much. We're going to find out. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm very confident right now. I mean, for almost a year now, I've been with SICW, and it's taken me to that next level. I'm so thankful and grateful for what everything, like you, Herb, everyone's done for me. And since I came in here, you know, me and Ricky, we clicked right off the bat. We tagged together a couple times. We wanted to work more with each other. We even joked about having a match with each other. But unfortunately, he's turned his back on the fans. He's turned his back on everyone in the back. I mean, he's got this new attitude, and I just wish it was under different stipulations, but it's going to happen.
Well, then it brings up an interesting point about Ricky Cruz. He may cut a corner now and then, apparently now. He's angry about a lot of things, but he's still one heck of a wrestler. And all it takes is a 3 count to get a pin. So do you think maybe some of this is thinking on Ricky Cruz's part to get people distracted from some of his real abilities and maybe set up a young guy like Dynamite Daniel Eads who's trying to get to the top? Do you think it works against you?
I mean, a lot of guys cut me short because I haven't been in the business that long, but I'm hungry. I'm that determined, and people hold that against me, but it's just I don't give up. I don't care what the challenge is. I don't care who it is. I'll give respect where respect is due, but I look for the next day. Everything I do is for the future. I always think of what's the next big step for Daniel Eads. Ricky Cruz, he's the next big step.
Of course, he has some dangerous weapons, and certainly foremost among them, that super kick. Man, if he nails you that super kick, it can be a rough night. That's why he took the title originally from Ron Powers.
But he's got the super kick, but I got the super punch. I call that thing the punch into tomorrow for a reason.
Well, let me tell you, Ricky Cruz has gone through a lot, and I guess what just interests me on this whole thing is the difference in psychologies. And I know Ricky, when he started out, was a young guy trying to make his way. Here in SICW in St. Louis, there's a history of young wrestlers making it to the top, going all the way back into the 1960s and 1950s. Do you feel like you can fit into that category with them?
I like to hope so. I mean, I'm that determined. I'm that focused. I mean, people call me the man of tomorrow because I hope. I believe in myself. I believe in the fans. And I truly believe they believe in me. And I want to give that respect back to them by doing the best I can to become the best that I can.
When the crowd's yelling, and maybe they're not yelling for Ricky Cruz right now, but they're yelling for you, does that make a difference? Does that fire you?
Oh, yes. I'm so thankful for the fans. I love each and every one of the fans who chant for me, cheer my name. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans.
Well, July 26th, the fans will be there to see this one. Eads against Cruz, going to be dynamite. Ricky Cruz squares off with Dynamite Daniel Eads on Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. He's a young man looking to fight his way up. Ricky Cruz maybe isn't happy about some things right now. And Ricky, I don't want to step on your toes here, so let's be honest.
You better not.
I'm just going to leave it wide open for you. You want to vent, you're angry about something, you're upset with Herb Simmons, you're upset with Travis Cook, you're upset with me, you're upset with anybody. Let it roll, brother. Let it all out. Let's hear it.
Before I start, I'm gonna just say something because this is just ridiculous. I stand in the monitors and I watch all the interviews that everybody does in the studio here for SICW, and I see Eads saying, "Oh, I respect the fans. I like they believe in me." Dude, that's not gonna help you for nothing. The fans are not in the ring. You're in the ring with the best in the Midwest, the king of chaos, the best thing that came out of Puerto Rico, the best wrestler in SICW. What are you gonna do? Because the fans ain't helping you. Now, talking about something else and what to me is important. Herb, hey, old guy, listen, and listen carefully. I did everything you asked me to do. I beat everyone you wanted me to beat. You actually wanted to put a trap on me and put me and Ron Powers in a match so you could get rid of me out of SICW for the rest of your year. Let me ask you, how is your friend Ron doing? Is he having fun in unemployment? Is he having fun in his house or fishing or doing whatever he's doing now that he's not in wrestling? Herb, if you keep pushing my buttons and not giving me what I deserve, you're gonna be next. I think, you know what? I think this town deserves a better mayor. Someone better. What do you think about Ricky Cruz, the king of chaos, putting some order in this town? It has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
You think you're going to be moving here to East Carondelet?
If I have to move to this dump so I can put some order in it, I'll do it.
Well, let's bring up one other name, though, you should be angry with, because Travis Cook did promise you a title match if you were part of the tag match, and of course it was his man Ken Kasa that lost the fall.
Thank you for.
So I did bring that up. So let's get everybody in there. Are you mad at Travis Cook too?
You know what? I can't be mad at Travis for one reason. You can't expect nothing else from a lizard like that. He's just. I can't even find a way to describe that dude. Travis, you don't surprise me. I know you're not a man of your word, but I'm getting what I deserve. And listen good, I'm getting what I deserve. I'm going to get that title. Any way I have to do it, that title is going to come to my West.
Ricky, I have to ask you this. You're saying all this. The anger is boiling out of you. Aren't you putting yourself on an island all by yourself?
You know, that's a great way to put it. I'm in an island by myself because I'm the only one I can trust here. And that's been proven. I can't trust the promoters. I can't trust the wrestlers. I can trust no one but myself. And that's the only person I need to be the champ, myself. And I'm going to prove it.
If he can get by Daniel Eads, maybe
If I can get by Daniel Eads, are you crazy? He's a greenhorn. He's a little kid who started the other day. I've been in wrestling for 14 years. I've been wrestling the best in the business. How can you even think? I should slap you right now. I don't do that out of respect for wrestling.
Calm down. July 26th, Cruz, Eads, East Carondelet.
You better get your story right.
No. Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Ironman Ken Kasa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Kasa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person. Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet.
Guerrero.
Seeing the exciting development of youngsters Heath Hatton and Daniel Eads is a reminder that St. Louis wrestling has always been a breeding ground for new stars. Here's one of the most popular from Wrestling at the Chase. August 23rd, 1981, Spike Huber takes on Gil Guerrero.
Saved himself one hard bounce by blocking the fireman's carry. Nice takedown by Spike. Guerrero seems a bit puzzled by the whole thing. Now he smiles. Maybe he's found a weakness in the armor of Spike Huber. Maybe he thinks he can fool Spike Huber into thinking he's going to be easy. He won't. Guarantee you that. Clean break by Gil Guerrero. So far, both grapplers have stuck to their knitting. Huber and Guerrero end up in the corner. Ed Warren wants a break. Me and my big mouth, so much for clean breaks. Arm whip into the corner by Gil Guerrero. Guerrero pounds on Huber. Ed Warren stops Guerrero and tells him to let Huber out of that corner. Good work by Ed Warren. Huber goes up on the second rope. He didn't take the turnbuckles. Guerrero charges it angrily. Arm drag. Spike Huber staying in control. As soon as Guerrero started that arm whip across the ring, Huber took a second's thought. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it's that computer mind that you have to have inside a wrestling ring. Controlled his momentum as he went across the ring, leaped right up on the turnbuckle. Didn't hurt him at all, and he was ready and waiting when Guerrero, angered that his move did not pay off, came charging in. Guerrero cannot escape the clutches of Spike Huber. It's a hammerlock now by Huber. Guerrero first must get to his feet if he intends to counter this hold. That's why Huber's leaning into his back. Huber yanks over, snapping the arm. Huber pulls the arm up along the back of Gil Guerrero. Now Spike hooks his calf against the chin of Guerrero. Ed Warren checks that it's not on the windpipe. It isn't. Spike might be able to roll Guerrero over into a pinning position here. Hooks that arm, getting Guerrero just one shoulder over, but then the other shoulder pops up. Spike has to settle for an arm lock. Hip toss counter by Gil Guerrero. Well done by Guerrero. Huber was a real fine high school athlete, both in football and amateur wrestling. And of course, then he began to date Dick the Bruiser's daughter and came under the influence of the Bruiser. Dick taught him all the good and the bad that there can be in professional wrestling. Spike knew the good parts. He knows about the money. He knows about the crowd response, having the people cheering for you and appreciating your efforts. He knows the thrill it is to be up in that ring, come up with a victory. And he knows the bad parts too, the lonely nights on the road, living out of a suitcase, all the bumps and bruises, having to get in that ring with a broken finger, with cracked ribs. No insurance for these guys, knowing about all the problems. You're your own travel agent. Nobody makes those arrangements for you. The recent air controllers strike, really the one thing that hasn't put a crimp into is wrestling, because the wrestlers have put in the time and the effort that's necessary to handle a predicament and handle it very well. Most recent card that Sam Muchnick had, there was not a single substitution, yet 10 men had to fly in. Jack Briscoe had all sort of problems getting out of Florida. Dick Murdoch had trouble getting out of New Orleans, but they managed to book enough flights for all the cancellations and the changes that they made it here. They're pros. That's
5 minutes have expired, 5 minutes left.
no crying, no complaining. They did what was expected of them. Guerrero tries to come to his feet. It's still Spike Huber concentrating his attack on the left arm of Guerrero. Now Spike hooks the head into the hole. Ed Warren doing some very fine alert work. He was right in to check the throat. Side saddle suplex by Spike Huber. Call it a salto, if you will. That's how they know it in Europe. Front face lock now by Spike Huber on Guerrero. Once more, the referee right in to check that chin. It's clean. Guerrero complains he's choking. Warren finds out that's not true because his hand fit right over the throat. The pressure's up on the chin and the jaw. Guerrero bounced over the top by Huber. Guerrero taking a close look at Spike Huber. Huber has looked very sharp so far, but Guerrero has made his share of good moves too. There's a wrist lock by Gil Guerrero on Huber. Spike can muscle out of it. He has the power. You can imagine all the hours in a gym pumping iron Spike Huber has done. Instead he goes a little finesse, rolls out underneath. Goes to the legs of Guerrero. Guerrero ducked back and smiled at Huber as though to say, not this time, boy. You're not getting my ankle.
Wait, man, old Albuquerque was right there.
Just like Mickey Garagiola, a wrestler comes after him in that ring. He's agile, nimble, but not hostile.
Thanks a lot.
Nah, Mickey, you're a lover, not a fighter. We know that. Ed Warren checking the shoulders of Gil Guerrero. Guerrero scoots underneath the ropes. Why expend the energy necessary to get out of that hold when the ropes were right nearby? Once more, Guerrero and Huber tie up, and Guerrero pulls Huber forward into a side headlock.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes.
Guerrero tosses Huber down to the mat. Once more, Warren right in there, watching the shoulders. Huber muscling his way up. That's all strength coming up. Guerrero wasn't making it easy. He was trying to lead into the neck. Yeah, Huber has the same problem again because Guerrero put him right back down on the canvas. Spike trying to turn over. Wants to get in a standing position. It's always easier to counter from that position, obviously. Down he goes a third time. Guerrero going for a body press. Knowing time's getting a little short, and he might be able to catch Huber by surprise after the bounce. Huber pitches Guerrero away. Both men hit the ropes. Huber ducks. Huber waiting. Lifts Guerrero in the air. Here comes the airplane spin by Spike Huber. The airplane spin. Round and round. Huber stops. Lifts Guerrero. What's here? Oh, that back body drop. I think it's curtains for Guerrero. I'm sorry. Yes, Spike Huber. He's come up with a very unique combination off that airplane spin. And I'll tell you, after the airplane spin, with the back body drop following, that's pretty hard to recover from. Guerrero could not. Huber got the pin. And here's Mickey Garagiola.
In 8 minutes, 11 seconds, with the airplane spin, then the back body drop, the winner, Spike Huber.
Ox Baker will be on hand when the Classic Championship is up for grabs. Title holder Ironman Ken Kasa, managed by Travis Cook, opposes challenger Heath Hatton. It's Saturday, July 26th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Ricky Cruz tangles with Daniel Eads, plus Jake Durden, Flash Flanagan, Gary Jackson, Big Jim Hoforth, Jazz Wesson, Big Daddy with Red River Jack, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. Kasa versus Hatton. Cruz versus Eads. Meet Ox Baker in person. Saturday, July 26th in East Carondelet. It's an exciting time for Heath Hatton and Daniel Eads, just as it is for the fans of SICW. Somebody who's definitely not excited, however, is Ricky Cruz. Boy, is Ricky on the warpath. A lot will be decided in East Carondelet Saturday, July 26th, when Hatton tries to unseat Classic King Ken Kasa and Eads meets Cruz. With all the other stars on hand, plus all-time St. Louis character Ox Baker, what a night. But that's the well-earned reputation of SICW. Excitement every time the bell rings. Join us for all the fun.
Now, that's the champion that you won, but these people deserve better, and I want my title shot. So you either make it happen, or I'll make you make it happen.